Okay, so I just fixed an issue and I hope it did fix it. So we're gonna start the car and we're gonna find out if it really got fixed or did I just waste my time. So let's try it now. I fixed it. I fixed it. It worked. It worked. All right.
How to do it. Let me show you how to do it.
Okay, so for the longest time I was having this issue with the car that, every time I used to start the car, it used to take forever to start. And finally I was able to find what the culprit was. And I did a lot of stuff, try to fix it, but none of that thing worked. But this particular fix is the right fix. So if you're having an issue where the car is taking too long to start, and as soon as you press your brakes and press it, it does not give you like a long start and it just starts right away, just like this. So watch the video till the end and I'll show you exactly what I did to fix it. All right, so this is what you need to do. The very first thing you need to do is remove the back seat. And this thing is very easy. It just literally pops out. So just put your hand underneath and just yank it out. And there are these tabs that you see right there. And there's one on this side. And all you have to do is just pop it out and then slide it out. And that's all you need to do. So once you slide out the main seat, this is what we're going to be working on. So this thing is stuck with a glue. It's like a rubber thing, gooey. So we're going to remove this. But before that, just loosen this up and we can kind of shove this inside so when we lift it, easily removes. And to remove this, all you have to do is just something to pry it upwards. Now it's going to be very dirty from the bottom, and that is normal. But let's disconnect the connector first. Connector is out. Okay, so now we have the connector out. And the connector is just a clip right here. You push the clip and it pops right out. And now we're going to remove the fuel line. Now for the fuel line, there's this tab right there that you can yank it out. You got to be careful so you don't break it. And before pulling it out, start the car so you relieve any kind of pressure that's built inside. So we're just going to start the car and then I'm going to pull this out. I'll start the car, turn it off, and then pull it out. Okay, so what we're gonna do is before I disconnect this, I'm just gonna unscrew these. And before you do this, you may want to vacuum it out or brush it off, and then just blow it off. This is open underneath the car, so if you blow it off, it's just gonna go into the car. So now we're going to take 5/16. You don't use the Phillips because it's probably going to break and it's not going to be strong enough. These screws might be in really well, so just loose it up. Loosen all of them just to make sure they all do get loose, and then you can remove it with the Phillips if it's easier for you, or you can just use this wrench. Everything is nice and loose. And now we can just use this and remove the screws. And as you remove it, keep putting it down, otherwise you're probably going to lose one of these. So I'm going to leave two, and then I'm going to try to remove this. you go. Off. Fuel line comes off. If you have a rag, then you may want to tie it. I'll put this and tuck it in there so it doesn't fall back. Okay, all the screws are in. The screws are out, I mean. And let's just clean the surface before we remove it. You may want to, at this point, you may want to get a bucket or something, a lot of rags, because the fuel is probably going to spill. But one thing I did was I made sure I drive the car down so it's not a lot of fuel in the car. And that was the tricky part, to lift this thing up, because so this ring comes off. Okay, so it's gonna lift it up from the center, not the end. Just keep track that the connector is right there. So just gonna pass this rubber filter, or if you want, you can lift the rubber filter as well, but be careful. Okay. There it is. And this is the actual, let me show you guys what it looks like. And this is what I want to replace. Okay, let me show you what's inside. And fuel tanks look very clean. I mean, I'm kind of surprised. Be careful, you don't want to drop your cell phone in there, because it has battery, it can catch fire. This is fuel. I have disconnected the battery just to be on the safe side, but I'm going to show you guys what it looks like from inside. Very clean. I don't see any debris or anything in there. This thing has 133,000 miles. So at first I was planning on draining all the fuel. Now my car is pretty much down to the bare minimum. I've driven it quite a bit. My gas light has been on for a while and I've been driving it, so that's why the fuel level is so low. Because I was planning on draining all this, siphoning all this out, but it's clean. I don't see a need to, so I'm not gonna bother with that. And I'm just gonna replace the strainer, which is this guy right there, and put the new one on. Okay, so we're going to replace this guy, and for you to replace it you have to remove it from here. So as you can see, it's connected. Now if you're going to flip it, you're going to see some fuel coming off, which is okay. So if you want to use a prying tool, be careful because you don't want to break it. There you go. That thing just pushed off to the side. Now, let me show you the replacement I got. This is a Denso. This is the part number. I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you guys want to get this. But this is the best one that I found. There are many different ones, cheaper ones that they sell, but this is nice build quality. So you don't want to get something cheaper and paper because that can cause you issues. So comes with this ring as well. It will hold it in place, so you can see this is the perfect fit, and this one already looked dirty. So this is almost the right size, just a little bit bigger, which is okay. So this is rubber piece that comes off, and this is the restrainer ring. I'm just gonna pop it out. So a one-time use. It's hard to get to. You gotta be careful so you don't break anything. Off. You should be able to just lift it off. There you go. This thing goes in just like that, and then this new ring goes on top. The cheaper ones that you buy don't come with this new ring, so don't buy those. Okay, so put the restrainer pin back in. Once you have the pin back in, you want to put this thing back on and clean it up. Dirty or anything. There you go. Once you put this back on, this clip is supposed to go back on. So what you do is just clip it back on like this, and everything is in place. Just make sure this is all functioning. This is your fuel gauge. It tells you if your gauges are working, if your fuel level is good. And this is the electronic, which is sending signal, and not only that, but it's also powering the motor for it to pump the fuel. You can see where the fuel is falling. goodness, it is dirty. Wow. Okay, so now we're ready to put everything back, and this thing is all ready to go. And the electrical connection was on this side, so we're going to put it in carefully. Once it's in, you can rotate it to the right orientation. There you go. Okay, so 2 mistakes I did, and I just want to share with you guys so you guys kind of learn from my mistakes and don't make that same mistake that I made. So the very first thing was, of course, you saw that I forgot this ring that I took out, and I put the screws in first and realized that I didn't put the ring. The ring is kind of holding the plastic, the entire tank. Sorry, the ring is kind of holding this whole thing together in one place. So if you don't put this ring on top, it's not going to hold it in. You know, after I was done putting the screws, basically I was just putting the screws into the body, and then I yanked on this thing and came up. So always put this ring first before you connect anything. And then once you put the ring in first, that's when you want to connect the fuel line and this thing. Now, the second mistake I did was I was removing this ring, this yellow thing, and as I was removing it, I was being very careful just so I don't yank it out. And my son kind of distracted me, and guess what happened in that time? It just flew back in there, and I couldn't really see it, so I had to take out my camera, the thin camera, then I had to put it in and stick it inside. And then what I did was I took a straw and I put this gooey stuff on that straw and kind of like reached out where exactly I was seeing it in the camera. And you need to have one of those snake cameras. And then you know, I kind of pushed the straw in, kind of turned the straw, and eventually this gooey stuff got stuck on this yellow thing, and you know, I was able to pull it out. So in case if it happens to you, this can come in handy. But anyways, learn from my mistake, be very careful, don't lose anything. And now we are done. I did connect all the connectors and everything, and I did start the car, and it starts right up. So you know, I'm gonna go ahead and button everything up. You know, I'm gonna take some of the gooey stuff and just stick it all around and put everything back on. So it seems like I already have everything here, it's just missing this part. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on. In case if you don't have enough, you can buy this stuff from Amazon. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below. I didn't order it, but I'll leave a link so you guys can order it. It's probably a good idea to order it, because if you don't have enough of this, the fumes might eventually come inside the cars, and you don't want that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back and make sure you put this rubber seal back on there. And that's it, guys. Hopefully this helps you guys fix your starting issue. You know, if you're having starting issues, this is one of the reasons, you know, that the car start, there's a delay in the car start. So with that, thanks for watching, guys. Please give it a thumbs up if this video helps you guys. It really helps with the channel rating, so I can bring in more content for you guys in future. Thanks for watching.